ILO Decent Work Team and the Faculty of Economics of Chulalongkorn University organized a training workshop on social protection, assessment, costing, and beyond. Over 60 participants attended the workshop coming from a variety of backgrounds: governmental and non-governmental institutions, worker and employer organizations, civil society, academia, and development agencies.
Ukesh from the employers in Thailand.
PhD students also attended, which allowed for knowledge transfer to the practitioners of tomorrow.
The Associate Dean of Chulalongkorn University.
So this is the first time that we are doing this with about 10 countries represented in this room, so we are particularly pleased that the first initiative of this type at the ASEAN level is taking place.
Social security is really the protection which is provided by society.
The first objective of the workshop was to better understand the concepts of Social Security and the social protection floor.
So we choose Malaysia, C.
This was followed by 2 quiz games, Jeopardy and Who Wants to be a Protectionaire, where groups answered questions relating to social protection in Asia.
Answer is C, Singapore. Is this your last answer?
First step is to identify what is the situation, the social protection situation in the country.
Next, the course covered the main steps involved in conducting an assessment-based national dialogue exercise. The ABND is a method to assess the social protection situation in a country, identify the areas where government intervention is required, and draw up recommendations to address these issues. This is done by building the assessment matrix.
So what we do is that we build a matrix, which we call the assessment matrix, where we list all the social protection schemes existing in the country for the 4 guarantees: for access to health care, for income security for children, income security for the working age, and for the elderly. And we use that as a lens to look at the whole social security situation in the country, looking at schemes for the formal sector, for the informal sector, etc. And we try to see whether there are some gaps and some implementation issues.
We found many implementation issues.
Participants listened to presentations on real experiences of conducting the ABND. Dr. Tavorn discussed drawing up the matrix for Thailand.
The costing actually led to
And Tavik Muhammad described the ABND experience in Indonesia.
And the testimonies of the Thai and the Indonesian participants were very important for the other participants to really understand how you really built this assessment matrix in a real country experience.
In order to simulate conducting the ABND, a fictitious country called Croatia, with its own social protection programs, was created. These programs were loosely based on real country experiences.
The participants were divided into groups, so we created one group for each of the social protection 4 guarantees, so one group on health, one group on children, one group on working age, and one group on the elderly. We asked the different participants to assess the situation of social protection in Croatia, to come up with recommendations, and then to transform these recommendations into policy options and to calculate the cost of these policy options. So they conducted the whole assessment exercise using this fake or country, Croatia.
Actually, you get an idea how simple actually the rapid assessment protocol is.
Then, the workshop covered the second step of the ABND, estimating the cost for implementing the recommendations. For this, a costing tool called the Rapid Assessment Protocol, or RAP, is used.
The costing session here, I think, is very useful, and I would recommend that this costing course should be expanded to each country, because as I mentioned in the how to make our strategy success, one of that is to make the cost and benefit analysis.
This costing exercise, it actually give us an insight of how we actually should propose our recommendations to the government, and we have a clearer idea, and then the discussion then is more effective.
The final step of the ABND is to present the recommendations to the government and advocate for their endorsement. To help participants understand this better, The 6 groups from the case study session presented one scenario to the different stakeholders of Corasia. By the end of the 5-day workshop, participants have a clear understanding on what is the social protection floor and the different components of the ABND, building the assessment matrix, utilizing the RIP for costing, and presenting the recommendations. The workshop allowed for not only learning about others' experiences, but also the exchange of new ideas for building the social protection floor in the respective countries. To supplement this workshop, a training manual has been developed which will serve as a guide to conducting similar workshops and also in conducting the ABND exercise in a country. The manual is based on real country experiences and contributions made during the workshop. It contains all the resources, presentations, fact sheets, and guidelines to conduct all the group activities in different sessions. The hope is that trainers and practitioners contribute to the continuous development of the manual by adding new and updated resources and exercises. This transfer of knowledge is vital in securing the social protection floor in the region.
And please keep this momentum together to make sure that the population of ASEAN will benefit from our social protection scheme. Thank you.